In the news tonight, Anambra state government seals partnership deal with a private company to close in the state's housing deficit. Property worth millions got fires at inland town on the chair. I'm a Berry Ugonna. The Anambra state government and Rotec Energy Services Limited have sealed a partnership of over 4.3 billion naira to enhance provision of infrastructure at Nkwele Zunaka Oyi local government area to reduce the state's long-term housing deficit. They propose to be given 50 hectares of land, while the state government has offered an initial 25 hectares. Government House correspondent A.J. Kabana reports that while Governor William Obiano signed on behalf of the state government, Chief Augustine Ogojofo signed on behalf of Rotec Energy Services Limited at the Government House. Okay, his report.
It seeks to build about 500 units of houses of 4-bedroom duplex with 2-bedroom boys' quarters, 5-bedroom duplex with 2-bedroom boys' quarters, among other social amenities, and has a 30-month completion period. Governor William Obiano said the Memorandum of Understanding on the partnership would hopefully go a long way in helping to scale up municipal infrastructure, increase revenues, and generally make life more comfortable for residents of the state.
We always try to make sure that the host community benefits from the investment in their area by, setting aside a certain percentage from the profit sharing in perpetuity, so long as that business is there. So that will give a buy-in to the community to support the project.
The Managing Director of Anambra State Investments Promotion and Protection Agency, Mr. Jide Ikako, said that the firm seeks to provide an estate to enhance infrastructural development in collaboration with the Ministries of Housing, Lands, and the Attorney General's Office. Given details, Mr. Ikako said the first phase of the construction will provide jobs for about 200 in the Anambra and has a profit-sharing formula of 18% for the state, 80% for the company, and 2% for the host community.
This is a 50-hectare development that will be phased, with the first phase of 25 hectares kicking off. The project will not just boost the construction industry in Anambra, but it will also help to bridge the housing deficit, as well as giving jobs to at least 200 people during the construction phase.
For his part, the Commissioner for Housing and Urban Development, Architect Mike Okonkwo, expressed excitement with the partnership, saying that it is in line with state government's pillar of development to provide affordable housing options for all status, as well as inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable cities that open new markets and create opportunities for all.
You clearly stated that your administration will make Anambra a more viable urban community by producing decent housing and suitable living environment, and expand economic opportunities for low and moderate income persons, as well as rich and high income persons.
Earlier, while describing the company as a corporate and experienced indigenous firm, the chairman of Rotec Energy Services Limited, Chief Ogojofo, noted that the objective of his firm, in line with the governor's Think Home philosophy, is to support Anambra State's efforts to improve living conditions, expand and renew its infrastructure, as well as help reinforce Anambra's position as an attractive investment destination in Nigeria. He hinted that they had previously constructed over 5,000 housing units during the federal government's housing scheme, as well as housing units for staff and members of the ICPC, saying that they had already started work on the Nkwele Zunaka site with commitment to complete it within the specified period.
Rotec Energy Services Limited is a corporate and experienced indigenous company with vast experience in real estate development, general construction, and property management.
Architect Michael Okonkwo to give his coming to the end of the session.
Anambra state government has reinstated its commitment to promoting economic activities through aggressive road construction. Governor Willie Obiano stated this while inspecting the 7.3-kilometer Umueri-Aguleri-Nando road project in Anambra East local government area. We have details.
When completed, the road which links Umuatuolu Umueri, Iwezuna-Aguleri and Obarisoye in Nando community will ensure easy evacuation of farm produce from the areas to the urban cities across the state. Governor Obiano assured that the road will be completed in no distant time to pave way for easy vehicular movement and reduce the burden of transporting farm produce with bicycles to markets.
I came here to see this beautiful road, 7.5 kilometers. This road will pick up a lot of traffic as soon as it's canonized. Economic importance of this road is very big, and I'm happy that I'm able to do this road now.
Also speaking, the State Commissioner for Works, Engineer Marcel Ifejiofor, explained that the project, when completed, will create easy access to farmers and residents in the area.
Because of the nature of the road, we don't take our cassava anywhere. We trek from here at Aviam and Omwe to sell cassava. But what is happening, women now take their cassava to Nteje, to Okuzu. So, His Excellency, we are very grateful.
The director of the construction firm handling the project, Mr. Tony Madi, assured that the job will be completed according to specifications.
On the MC1 level now, and we promise next week we will asphalt this road from next week.
The Ministry of Environment has launched a 6-month environmental action campaign aimed at keeping Anambra State clean. The campaign tagged the Be Anambra Ocha was flagged off during a press conference held at the office of the Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Obi Wankwo in Oka. Correspondent Chukwemeka Modlin was there and now reports.
Mr. Wankwo, who said Anambra State government by the campaign has declared a state of emergency on waste management and environment in the state, explained that the program will arrest serious environmental challenges confronting Anambra State and accelerate the activities of the ministry in terms of evacuation of refuse and cleanliness of the state. Mr. Wankwo noted that the program, which will last for 6 months, is in line with the mandate given to them by Governor Willie Obiano to clean up Anambra State and inculcate the habit of environmental cleanliness on the people. He assured that in the next 6 months, Anambra State will witness increased efforts of the ministry in waste collection and management, improved enlightenment and citizen education in the area of waste management. Mr. Wankwo also revealed that the ministry will soon make public their objectives for the state, which will make remarkable difference in environmental care and waste management when it is actualized. He charged the people to always bag all refuse and waste before taking to waste collection points and ensure that wastes are dumped in designated areas, among others, as stipulated by law, adding that defaulters will be punished accordingly.
You're supposed to make sure that your drainage is clean, all the overgrown grasses around you is clean. And if you don't do that, give you a ticket, give you 1 week to do that, after which the court will write you, because we must send you to court immediately.
On his part, the Secretary of Environmental Health Officers Registration Council of Nigeria, Anambra State Chapter, Mr. Bernard Ikechukwu, who lauded the Obiano administration for initiating the Anambra State Environmental Action Campaign, added that they have keyed fully into the program to ensure that all the set goals will be achieved.
We are keying in fully into this program to ensure that all the goals set out is being achieved.
During the press conference, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Environment, Mr. Chinedu Edozie, donated a vehicle to the ministry to assist them in the supervision of waste and disposal in the state. In Oka, Chukwemeka Modelem, ABS News.
Still to come in the news tonight, property worth millions got fire at Inland Town, Onitsha. The news returns in a moment. Please join us again.
In all the cities and all the streets, in all the places where people meet. From Niger to yonder, we've got you talking. You are the one that's falling to keep you talking. Yeah! Talking. We got people talking. We got people talking. Talking. We've got people talking. Dressing from east to the west to the south. Everywhere they cover, they know the mouth.
With 5 times bonus to call all networks on every recharge, we get you talking.
Well, glad to have you back for the rest of the news. Property worth millions of naira has been gutted by fire in Onitsha, rendering over 4 families homeless. The inferno, which started a few minutes before 8 o'clock last night, destroyed a 14-room and parlor bungalow situated at St. Stephen's Road, Inland Town, Onitsha. Correspondent Guinea Sadebe was at the scene of the fire disaster, from where she relates the story.
The said bungalow, which was a family house belonging to the Njaka family of Obabo village, Onitsha, was destroyed beyond repair. Sympathizers were trooping in and out of the compound as family members were counting their losses. Speaking to the ABS, a retired editor of National Light newspaper, Mr. Oke Njaka, and retired railway officer, Mr. Opuruli Njaka, recounted that the incident took them unawares and they were unable to save any of their belongings, saying that the fire was so intense that it escalated into all their rooms immediately. They noted that the cause of the outbreak is said to be ascertained, as there was power outage in the area.
I didn't surprise. However, we key if a man, other than Oko. Nothing also gallery staircase. Okomewo. Piadisi glass and Almacum. Nute.
Back and no, anali kunis window there. So in Janaba, no, one of the neighbors, your boko, Nanyanu, Amulujuni, Runo, Aba, Botazamba, Kutunja Batanya Bokunaga Kago, Campania Mamma, Gawetiva, Amulupuchia, Bapatanilo, the Madu Tibenku.
On their parts, their elder brother, who is a retired officer with Old NEPA, Mr. Lawrence Njaka, and a retired local government worker, Mr. Onyebuchi Njaka, said they heard someone shouting from within the building, alerting the public of outbreak. But before they knew it, the fire has engulfed the whole building. They commended the effort of some youths who came to help them before the arrival of the firefighters after 1 hour, adding that their wives and children were not around to salvage their property. One of their sons, Mr. Chike Njaka, who regretted that they are now homeless, pointed out that the building is their only hope as they all live with their aged parents and children, and solicited for assistance from government and spirited individuals.
So because na ife na yo nebe na state government no bụ na gịnị me dan ebe na ọ ka mma dana vazola anyị ndụ kịta anụ nwa na anyị dị ndụ because na even na arapụkwu anyị nwa obele oge amụrụ condition na anyị ga-anọ n'ime ya.
Guinea Sadebe, ABS News.
Three persons convicted of drug peddling and serving their prison terms in different prison formations in Anambra State have had their state pardon cancelled for what was described as the heinous nature of their crimes. The Presidential Committee on Prisons Reforms and Decongestion was in the state to perform the pardon process for those who were sentenced to serve different terms in prison with an option of fine and that have had their fines paid by the Anambra State government. David Abokwasili has the report.
The presidential team led by the chairman of the committee and chief judge of the Federal Capital Territory, Justice Ichak Bello, refused to grant the pardon after reviewing the warrant and considering the dangers that drug pose to society, especially to young people. Justice Bello said the reversal of the pardon will help deter members of the public who may want to venture into trafficking drugs and hope to receive state pardon when sentenced. Those affected are Mr. Ogochukwu Okafo, sentenced to 2 years imprisonment for possessing 225 1.5 grams of cannabis sativa, one Chimezioka for sentence for possessing large quantities of methamphetamine, popularly called Murumili, and cocaine, and 18-year-old Paul Odo, who was sentenced to serve a 4-year term for possessing 320 grams of cannabis sativa. However, one Mr. Izuchukwu Obuanam, a 20-year-old boy from Enugu State who sold marijuana and has almost outserved his 2-year term, was pardoned. Also, it was a moment of untold joy for 19-year-old Kosuchukwu Keke, who was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for stealing 120,000 naira to pay his school fees. Some Tochukwu had his sentencing cancelled for him to go back to school, write his senior secondary school certificate examination, and have his school fees paid by a non-governmental organization through the Attorney General of the state. Meanwhile, the committee chairman, Justice Bello, further explained that prisoners with mental conditions called psychosis or other forms of mental ill health who do not have members of their families who will claim them will not also be pardoned, to avoid releasing them into the streets where they may become vulnerable to crime or pose dangers to members of the society.
We are able to release all in all 7 persons here who merited enjoying such respite, going by our terms of reference.
Also, the committee had some persons awaiting trial for between 3 and 8 years because they lacked lawyers that would defend their cases, assigned defense lawyers through the state judiciary, Ministry of Justice, or through the non-governmental organization Legal Aid Initiative. The Presidential Committee on Prisons Reforms and Reconstruction, who were accompanied to the assignment by the Chief Judge of Anambra State, Justice Ijem Onwamwebu, and the Attorney General of the State, Dr. Mrs. Ujunwogo, had pardoned 4,000 prisoners across the Federation, with Anambra State being the 14th state they will be visiting. Their mandate is to pardon prisoners who were sentenced to prison with an option of fine, age challenges, illness that is assessed to be beyond the capacity of the Welfare Department of the Nigerian Prison Service, facilitate the release of those who have stayed beyond the number of years of their prison sentence, and the assignment of lawyers to those who are awaiting trial but could not afford the services of a defense lawyer. In Oka, I am David Opokwasele for ABS News.
And that's the news tonight. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV online. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website www.absradiotv.com. The main points before we go tonight: Anambra State government has sealed a partnership deal with a private company to close in the state's housing deficit. Property worth millions of naira has got fire at inland town on the chair. And that's it. Many thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ebere. We're going to have a wonderful night rest.